The Goblin Waffle Apocalypse and the complete history of the Pog Wars? What is this nonsense? Good morning and welcome. How are you? It's 9 o'clock in the morning on the 12th day of December, 2024. The countdown to the holidays has begun. You know what you need to get yourself for Christmas? It's this. Let's get into it. So this is the last product that I'm making for 2024. This is my denouement. This is what everything that I've done this year has built up to. It is my complete guide to the post-apocalypse goblin verse that I have been playing around with all the goblin-centric products I've made this year. This is one that I worked the most on and really put a lot of time and effort and research into. I'm really proud of this one. It's the largest of the goblin books, and it really sort of sets the stage for the combined goblin cess gear and ammo universe that I'm trying to create for next year. So yeah, this gives the complete history of the Pog Wars. Plus it goes into depth for a lot of other post-apocalyptic scenarios. Post-apocalypse seems to be the denouement, the word of the day. You know, I just interviewed somebody yesterday about their post-apocalypse role-playing games. And a few weeks ago, I interviewed Basic Expert about his. So we're all very much post-apocalypse. And for some reason, everybody's talking about goblins lately. I'm not sure why. I assume it's because of me. So I thought it was the perfect time to take a look at this and explain what it is and why I think it's awesome and fun. And I think you should pick it up. And of course, it has my usual sense of humor going through it. But yeah, you know, this one I definitely put a lot of work into. So yeah, let's start with the usual stuff. It gives the history about how the Pog Wars began, both in real life and in the game. You hear me constantly refer to Pogs and the Pog Wars in the game and in my various products. So here's a complete history of what it was, how it began, and how it began here in Ventura, the actual Pog Wars that Aaron and Robert and I and Alex had over at Cess Games and Anime, starting with a game of Pogs that just grew and grew and grew into this whole, you know, almost mythology we created over this apocalypse that started from people playing Pogs. So I go into all that, including the story of how Robert's car got buried in Pogs. And then I give the introduction to the actual game. We give our rules. We're using Shadowdark yet again, because I think it's a good, decent D20 system that allows you to really play with and hack with. And it's, you know, on the tips of everybody's tongue. And that way I can ride the coattails of Kelsey's fame and maybe increase my sales by making Shadowdark products. So yeah, I hooked my tail to Kelsey, at least for now. And I like the system, and it's easy to hack. So we have the different races you can play, how to build a character, both the normal type of characters and the more sillier goblin characters. It's designed to play as normal post-apocalypse through the various scenarios, or to play the goblin silliness and, you know, how goblins or how humans would interact in the apocalypse. So we go through the different classes that are available. These are all just based on Shadowdark characters. Gear section. Got to go really into the gear because there's a lot of weird stuff you can find in the apocalypse. Explanations of gear slots and Pogs. So you can see all the different normal gear and post-apocalypse gear, and then the gear from the different major corporations that I've introduced. Cornelius Corp, Weatherford, McAllister Arms and Explosives, different types of transportations, how to, you know, the Shadowdark rules on leveling, and Pogs and rewards for Pogs. And then we get the section about the different types of apocalypse. I didn't want to just focus on one, though there is a suggested apocalypse coming up. I wanted to try and cover as many as I could. So I spent like 2 months, 3 months trying to research every variation of a end of the world scenario that had ever been done on TV or books, or, you know, and I questioned people. So I think we did pretty good. There's probably some I missed, but we got the different types of atomic apocalypses, artificial intelligence apocalypses, the bioplague apocalypses, the aliens apocalyptics, the natural disaster types of apocalypses. There's a lot of those. The supernatural apocalypses, including the Rapture and Ragnarok and the War of the Gods. Manufactured apocalyptics, like antimatter, weather control, stuff like that, including like Civil War, time travel, biotech, and then of course zombies. You got to have zombies. I mean, you know, it is, of all the post-apocalyptic scenarios, zombies seems to be the most popular, and because they're just the most fun. And we talk about that when we get to the section on zombies. So talk about, you know, all the different types, atomic horror, go really deep into atomic horror, atomic mutants. Never understood that one, but it's a thing. Artificial intelligence, different types of bioplagues, you know, super pandemics, aliens, natural disasters. You can see that I've covered every different type, or as most of the types as I could find. Supernatural disasters, the Rapture, Ragnarok, Cthulhu. Man-made apocalypses, you know, how the Hadron Collider, you know, going crazy, artificial weather, stuff like that. And then, of course, zombies. And we really go into the popularity of zombies, the mentality of zombies, why zombies are so popular. And then, of course, of zombies, I've got to go into the, you know, The Last of Us. And the fact that The Last of Us is based upon an actual fungus. Good to know, isn't it? Then we have the suggested campaign setting, which is set in the mythical city of Fresno, Nevada, which is sort of the original Fresno, Nevada was the city that my post-apocalyptic game took place in years ago when I ran it. And that's how it all sort of began. And how the Pog War started, why they're called the Waffle Apocalypse. The AI, the various factions in my post-apocalyptics, the Tri-State Coalition of Nevada, California. And then we have like the different things you can run into Nevada, California, and Arizona and the Grand Canyon. The various factions, including, of course, dinosaurs. You got to have dinosaurs, intelligent dinosaurs in a post-apocalypse, right? It's just rule. The Grand Canyon Coalition, big section on cess, gear, and ammo. Some of the other corporations and factions in the universe. Rules on carousing and recovering in Fresno, Nevada, what the city of Fresno, Nevada in the apocalypse is like. There's a picture from Ely, Nevada, the city that Fresno, Nevada is based upon. Now, I've reached out to the Ely, Nevada Chamber of Commerce multiple times to see if they had information they could send me, or if they wanted me to send them copies of this, and to thank them for letting me use their city as the imaginary city that Fresno is based on. They've never responded. Someday I think I should send them all copies of the games, you know, to say, hey, look at all the free press I'm giving your city. You know, who knows? Maybe I'll visit Ely, Nevada, and, you know, just go, hey, I used your city as the imaginary location from all of my games. They will either be like, oh, that's so fucking cool. Thank you very much. You really helped with the, you know, or they'll be like, how dare you? But anyways, here we go into the different parts of post-apocalyptics Fresno, what you can do in Fresno, and the general post-apocalyptics, you know, then we got apocalyptic monsters. We got both the real world monsters that, you know, are still dangerous, like the world's largest spider, the world's most dangerous spider, the world's most dangerous insect, the world's largest snake. These are all based upon real things. World's largest fish, world's most deadliest fish, world's largest mammal, world's deadliest mammal, which is, of course, mankind. Atomic animals like the atomic dog, the atomic rats, atomic cats, atomic horses, Atomic apes, you got to have the apes. You got to have the, the Planet of the Apes. Different beast folk, genetically modified, dog people, bird people. There's a booba kitty pitty people. You got to have the sexy anime cat girl. Lizard people, different kinds of slime, because you guys know I love slime. So slime are going to show up in every game I make up, because I think slime are the greatest minion you have in your DM toolbox. If you're not using slime, you should, because they're just great. Here we talk about the Cordyceps, the fungus from The Last of Us, which is an actual real life fungus, and the CDC has received multiple inquiries about this fungus and if it would ever affect human beings. And CDC says, unless it experienced, as of now, there's absolutely no way this fungus could affect humans and cause a zombie apocalypse. But there's not to say it couldn't evolve. But yeah, it's a real thing. And then we have a section on goblins and the different types of goblins. Some mutants, got to have the dinosaurs, the ghouls, the zombies, got to have the different types of zombies. I call them ghouls because the zombies in all the zombie TV shows and movies aren't zombies. They're ghouls. And we got to have the, the atomic giants. We got to have the giant ants, the giant people, the giant, 50-foot woman. Got to have some killer robots. Got to have the Vendobot. Got to have the Vendobot. I love the Vendobot. Big stompy mechs, of course. Got to have some big stompy mechs. We got to have monsters in the sea. And then, of course, we got to have a section on people, because the most dangerous game, the survivors of the apocalypse, like, the cannibal, the wasteland warlord, the guy with the idiot with, idiot clowns with chainsaws. Got to have those in the apocalypse. Priests, mad scientists, different people that you might encounter in the apocalypse. Some of the main NPCs of the world, like my AI. Some of the other ones that have appeared, like Orange McAllister, Deadeye Aaron. Some of the ones that are mentioned in my story. Some of the NPCs from the Dino Cons. Of course, you got to have Elvis. Got to have Elvis. And some more tables on generating adventures. Wouldn't mind a little bit more art, but types of treasures you might find in the apocalypse. There's Tag. She's got to be in our, every one of our games. There's our mascot. And then, of course, the references. So look at this. It's 2 pages of references, 3 pages of references. Then the legal stuff. The thank you to Kelsey and the thank you to Legal Stuff for Shadowdark and for creating Shadowdark. And there we go. There is the Goblin Waffle Apocalypse. That's the latest product I've made. I'm really proud of this one. If you guys are looking for a post-apocalypse role-playing game, I'd say go get my friend Basic Expert's Atomic Punk. But if you have a little extra money and you want to support the OGGM, I also would appreciate it if you head on over and pick up a copy of this. I had a lot of fun creating it. I hope some people will let me know what kind of adventures they had with it if anybody picks it up. I really enjoy the fact that I covered every type of apocalypse, because I don't think a lot of the apocalypse, role-playing games cover that as much as they should, where you just like, here's a suggested apocalypse, but then, here's sort of just a crash course in all the different types of apocalyptic scenarios, from the very realistic, most likely, to the ridiculous, I mean, we all think it's going to be a zombie apocalypse, how the world ends, but, more likely than not, it will either just be an asteroid, probably, or another super bioplague, or just, a lot of teeny civil wars that eventually grow into a real war. But, I don't think we'll ever have the Mad Max endless desert post-apocalypse. That probably won't ever have the zombie apocalypse as much as we are all like that one. Aliens invading? Probably not. But, worldwide bioplague, environmental disasters, or just something from space hitting us. Yeah, probably won't happen in my lifetime, but you never know. So that area is my last product of the year. Please take a moment to pick it up and let me know what you think. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
City light, shadow dreams, metal giants, fucking screams, neon glass stations light, shadows dancing in the night, power searching through the veil.